That's my understanding.
Yeah, well, one, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, now tell me, what is this award about? What are you being recognized for? Do you know?
So I think it's the Wellness Award.
Okay.
So I'm an OBGYN physician. My name is
right.
Dr. Iyanna Liles. So I deliver babies in the area. I've been in the Hartford area since 2014, where I did residency up here.
Okay.
And then I'm currently practicing in Hamden, and I do surgery down at Yale, where I do gynecologic surgery.
Oh, awesome. Thank God for you. And we know, like with Black mothers, it is really helpful that there's a Black woman on the other end, right? Taking care of things. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I have to admit, it's funny when I walk in a room, half the time people don't know I'm their doctor, despite what I say. I think a lot of it is a little bit of shock and awe.
Yeah.
That they're like, you're here. And I'm like, not only I'm here for you.
Yeah.
So I think it's important because you bring a different perspective. There's sort of a learned experience of being a Black woman. I have 3 children, so I've been in their shoes. And just someone to bring a different perspective, to just listen. I always like to treat everyone like they're my mom, my sister, my family member, because those are my family members that are going to be in those same scenarios. So my goal is to provide similar care that I would want someone to treat me or any of my loved ones, actually.
That's awesome. What led you to this work?
Oh, that's a very fun question.
Yeah.
So initially, let's go all the way back. I delivered babies from my dog when I was super young, so I knew I wanted to be a doctor at that point.
That's amazing.
That's how it started, but officially OBGYN really when I got to college and sort of learned about reproductive justice and learning about, Black women and how we were treated, how we were forced to be sterilized against our will, and people wanted to stop me from having babies because they were on welfare. That just didn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
And I sort of made a pact with myself that I was going to be a doctor because no one was going to tell me what I could do about my body. But I also felt that I had a duty for other people to be able to provide them with the information that they need to make their own decision, because I'm not in the business of telling people what they need to do. I can tell you what I think is medically right. I can tell you what what the evidence says. But I'm like, ultimately, it's your body. And I'm here to guide you and do whatever you need me to do that I think is safe. And so that's really where it started, is just learning about our history and knowing that I can make a difference, once I could get to where I needed to be.
Thank God you're there. That's wonderful. And which organization are you representing, Dr. Iyanna?
Thank you, and I'm a part of the Theta Alpha Sigma chapter of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated.
Awesome. And how does the work you do in your professional life connect to the work that your organization does?
Part of why I joined Sigma Gamma Rho was the service aspect. I love giving back, and one of our national programs and organizations is Marching Nights, which really helps to, get rid of the disparity of premature births and looking at it from the aspect of maternal health. Because babies are born premature just out of nowhere. A lot of times it starts with the moms. And so knowing that and knowing I wanted to be an OBGYN, it kind of aligned, perfectly. So through my chapter, I've been able to be at a lot of the baby showers, sort of to provide some medical advice, do different service events, as well as kind of give back to the community, because I think that that's one of the most important things that you can do.
Beautiful, Dr. Iyanna. What do you think of this event? Why do you think events like these are important? Do they matter? Does it make a difference?
100% they matter. Number one, we matter. I think it's important for us to see each other, because there's a lot of people I don't see. I'm a workaholic, admittedly. So I work all day, come home and go to my kids and go back to work and do my sorority, and that's it. And so these events allow me to network and see other Black professionals, other Black people who have probably similar goals as me that I've never met before. So I think that that's important. I think it's also important to have fun. We've been in a pandemic, still are in a pandemic, but we've been in the thick of a pandemic for the last 3 years. And so it's important to kind of get out, to enjoy life, because life is short. That's one thing COVID has taught us. No one, tomorrow's not guaranteed to anyone. So I think coming out to these events are important, and then, supporting each other. There's Black businesses here. There's I don't know, it's just a beautiful thing to see. Beautiful Black people. Especially in Connecticut.
Isn't it?
Especially in Connecticut.
We're here. We do exist.
We do exist. So it's important to have these types of things.
That's beautiful. And if there were a piece of advice you wanted to give to a young woman or a grown woman who is looking to do some of the things you're doing, or maybe even join your sorority, what would you recommend? What would you have them keep in mind?
That's a great question. I've never been asked that one. I would have them keep in mind that if you want it, go for it. there's nothing stopping you. Just because people tell you you can't do it, just because you may have different grades, just because your family situation is what it is, doesn't mean you can't do any of those things, whether it's a doctor, a nurse, a lawyer, Sigma Gamma Rho, any of the other sororities, any other organization. Put your mind to it, and you can get it and get a mentor. And I think that's one of the most important things. Having people who are either part of it or who have connections is key. And if there's one thing I love to do is, I stood on the shoulders of other people to get here, and I fully recognize and acknowledge different colors of people. And so I've made it my mission to be a shoulder for everyone else. So I love people standing on my shoulders, and any connections I can make for people, I will try. Whether it's a text, a phone call, a letter, an email, I do it because that's what I think is important. And I didn't get here by myself. That's what I think is important for everyone to realize. You need the help of other people, and don't be afraid to ask.
Dr. Iyanna, thank you so much. It has been a pleasure talking to you.